First, let's look at the biblical passage I am referring to. John 4 verses 25 to 30, NIV. 25 The woman said, I know that Messiah, called Christ, is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. 26 Then Jesus declared, I, the one speaking to you, I am he. 27 Just then his disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking with a woman. But no one asked, What do you want? Or, Why are you talking with her? 28 Then, leaving her water jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people. 29 Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah? 30 They came out of the town and made their way toward him. Now let's expound it. This passage is part of the story of Jesus' encounter with the Samaritan woman at the well, an account that illustrates the personal, transformative power of faith and highlights the broad scope of Jesus' ministry. In verse 25, the woman expresses her faith in the coming of the Messiah and her belief that he will provide ultimate spiritual guidance. In verse 26, Jesus reveals to her directly that he is indeed the Messiah, the one she is waiting for. This is significant because Jesus rarely openly declared his identity during his ministry, preferring instead to allow people to discover his divine nature through his actions and teachings. Verses 27 represents the arrival of Jesus' disciples who are surprised to find him speaking with a Samaritan woman. This is because Jews and Samaritans at that time generally avoided social interactions due to long-standing enmity between the two groups. Women also held a lower social status, so a rabbi like Jesus speaking to her was a breach of societal norms. But no one dared question him, suggesting their respect and trust in his actions. In verses 28 to 30, the woman, leaving her water jar behind, symbolic of leaving her old life, rushes back to her town to share her encounter with Jesus, asking rhetorically if he could be the Messiah. Her testimony prompts many from her town to seek Jesus. It demonstrates the impact of a personal encounter with Jesus, and it shows how the good news of the Messiah spreads from person to person. This passage encapsulates themes of personal revelation, the breaking down of societal and cultural barriers, and the impact of personal testimony in sharing the message of Christ. It's a story about transformation, about how an encounter with Jesus can change a person and, through that person, reach and transform an entire community.